Now it is working fine. So here, whenever you are having a two dimensions, whenever you are representing a two dimensions data, you cannot use more than one method at that time. If you wanted to represent a more than one measure, you have an option called tooltip. So whenever you use a tooltip, you are able to see everything is displayed as part of your tooltip. Okay, so that is what I referred as two dimensions. More than one measure will not be possible. If you have, you can use it at tooltip, so that it will not change the structure, but whenever you hover it, is going to get the data displayed. So these are the different combinations that you can work whenever you are working with any visualization. Okay, so don't try to use it more than two dimensions at a time, or don't try to use more than two dimensions whenever you are using a two dimensions, or whenever you are having a multiple measures, don't try to use the two dimensions. So this is what the basic principle. And now here the focus mode, you know that what is the focus mode. And let me remove all these things. Whenever you have two dimensions and if you want to represent a more than one method, then you will use a tooltip. Wherever you see the tooltip, the same concept is there. Even for a donut, like even for a gas also, we have a tooltip is there. I didn't cover the same concept. Now you have the minimum, maximum, target value. Other than that, if you want to represent something else, okay, you want to represent. Okay, fine.
Hello?
So fine. So if I want to represent some profit percentage or how much money that I need to get, which is nothing but the difference between these two things, I'm able to represent what is my target and what I achieved. But I need to, if I can showcase how much still I need to get it, how much percentage that I achieved, or how much percentage that I still need to get. If I can showcase that one, that is really good. Do you have the options for it? We don't have. Where you can represent that one? That can be represented with the help of a tooltip. You need to calculate them on your DAX expressions, and you can represent with the help of a tooltip. Fine. So that is what the tooltips option. Now here export data, you can export it, see the data associated with that visualization can be showcased, and if you want to remove it, if you want to highlight it, or if you want to sort it based on a state name, you can sort it, and sort by amount paid. If you want to sort based on the amount paid, you can sort it. This sorting will be showcased in a anti-clock direction. Always remember that one. So anti-clockwise direction that will be represented. Whatever you can see like this side only. That is what sorting is available, and the properties available here are legend. If you want to enable legend, you can enable it. Legend is nothing but what color represents what. Here it is we are using a like a dimension with the three different values. So three colors are there. What color is representing what is displaying here, and where you want to represent, top or a bottom or left or a right or a top center or a bottom center or a left center, wherever you want, you can specify that one. And the title, you want to enable a title, which means the column name. By default the column name will come. From where you are getting these values, or you can specify your own value there. And the color, what color you want to represent for that legend values. And a font family, what family you want to represent, what is the size. That is what legend configuration. Data colors, by default those colors are came. If you want to change the colors, you can change it from here. Whatever the color that you want, you can change it. And detailed labels, you have three types of labels are there mainly. Those are category is nothing but the value, column value. So if I represent a category, each dimension, like each category, what it is representing. It's a Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh it is representing. You want to display the category names, or you want to represent the value. Let me increase the font first of all. You want to represent a category, or you want to represent a value, or you want to represent a percent of that 100. What you want to represent, you can select it here. Those are the first three things. Second one, category with a data label, category with a percentage will be available, and a third one, those three things will be available, like data label with percentile, and those three things if you want to represent, you can represent here: category, value, and percentage. That is what detailed labels. And the title, background, general, and border are same, whatever we had a discussion. So this is a pie chart. If you want to represent your information through a visualization, the basic visualization that you have is pie chart. Pie chart and bar chart. The pie chart is this one, and the configuration we already saw. Whatever you can do with the pie chart, these are the things. Next to it, we have a donut chart is there. It is having 100% the same configuration, but the only thing is the way of representation. The way of representation. So that is going to fill a complete circle, and it is going to have the different shape, different visualization. See, let's assume you need to represent a 5 visuals. You cannot use a 5 pie charts, right? So the same way, whatever you can represent in a pie chart, that can be represented with the help of a donut also, and the same configuration which are available with that pie chart. So all the options are same. At the time of practice, you can verify everything. So we have legend, values, tooltip, and details. Details is nothing but a second dimension. If you want to provide a second dimension, you can use it here. Okay, and remaining all configuration is same, pie and a donut. That is about donut chart. The way of representation is different. It is a different visualization. That's it. And tree map chart. Tree map, it is having one extra new option called color saturation, and so it is another visualization to represent the data. Here you have a group is there. The group also same, first dimension. What is your first dimension? My first dimension is state, and the second one is the amount paid. And if I want to represent another dimension, city name, if I want to represent a measure, it will not be possible. It will be overridden. It will not be possible. Till here, the concept is same. And if you want to represent something, you have amount, like tooltip is there. When you hover it, you are going to get displayed. Now, color saturation is there. The color saturation is nothing but whenever you want to represent the values with the color without changing the structure, with the color only you want to represent. At the time, color saturation concept is there. Whenever you have a high value, high color will be displayed. Whenever you have low value, the color will get saturated. Now, if you want to use it, if you want to use that one color saturation, the field that you are using as part of color saturation also measure. Whenever you already have a 2 dimensions, can we use a second measure? No. So you cannot. Now you can test it. If you want to test that one, let me create that one as a multiple groups. Now the color saturation based on the pending amount. Now you can see that it is representing city wise amount paid along with the pending amount also. City wise amount paid and pending amount. This area is going to represent how much amount paid. The higher the area, higher amount paid. But the color is representing pending amount. Higher the color, the higher pending amount. So you can see 38, you can see 28, 19, like 2, and 920, and here 1000. It is getting saturated. So the color is getting saturated based on the amount paid high to low. You can see. Okay, you can see wherever you have thickness, you have a high amount, like high pending amount. Wherever you have less, the less pending amount. So color saturation is nothing but based on this measure whatever you are providing, the color will get saturated from high to low. And a tooltip that you know. Okay, so what you need to understand is the color saturation whatever you are using, that is also comes under a measure, that also will applicable all the points that we discussed here. It will be considered as a measure. Now the configuration, like focus mode that you know, and export data, show data, remove spotlight that you already know. Legend, even if you enable a legend, which will not make much sense. Why? Because we used a color saturation, the color will get saturated, that value solid is getting displayed. But anyways, legend configuration I already explained. And data colors. Data colors, previously you observed for each category you have separate color, right? But here it is different. Why? Because based on the value the colors are getting changed. So you can specify what is the minimum value that you want to consider, what is the maximum value that you want to consider. Let's assume, one second, fine. So let's assume this color by default the color saturation will be taken care by the Power BI. But let's assume I want to set my own limits. What is the maximum value? What is the minimum value? At that time, let's assume my maximum value of a pending amount is 1000, which means if I get a 1000, I am fine with that. So that, see, wherever the 1000 is there, wherever more than that 1000 is there, you are able to see that color, which means all are in safe zone. You can specify the minimum value also. Let's assume the minimum value for that amount paid is 3000. So you can specify your minimum and maximum values for that color saturation, or you can specify here for a minimum value what color you want to represent. Removing this one, for a minimum value what color I want to represent, and a maximum value what color I want to represent, I can showcase. So you can specify the minimum and maximum values limits also over here, so that based on that the color will get saturated. And data labels, if you want to enable data labels, you can enable it. And what is the text size, like how you want to represent, and decimal places, the text size. You can specify the text size and font family. Category labels are nothing but these ones. Category labels, what is the text size, and with what color you want to represent, and title, general, background, everything is same. We already had a discussion. This is a tree map visualization. We have an extra property called color saturation. Color saturation, based on the value the color will get saturated. Any questions up to here, whatever the visualization that we discussed so far?
I see not.
Srijit? Yes.
Yeah, I think I missed some of the part when my network some issue was there. So
Okay.
you were talking about some recording, right? Some
See,
video
that I have some recording issue. Like I was notified that your video is not recording,
Oh,
or someone tried to record the session, so it got stopped. Okay. Okay. So that,
okay, so I
huh?
started from my end.
You started from your end. So
I
don't do
started
that one.
from my end.
No,
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 no.
no,
That is
no.
not from your
No,
end.
no, no, I have not done that.
Okay, fine, fine, fine.
Okay,
Listen,
fine. No, no, it's not from my end. Okay, okay.
listen. I have notified that your video is not recording, so that's why I thought that my space was filled. It is a like a paid account. It is per year 40,000. Though I felt that my space was filled.
Okay.
I saw the space is much space is available. It is because of some issue like someone tried to record or something. So that's why, and I'm unable to start the video recording again. So that's why I asked you people to drop and rejoin. So nothing was happened. We
Oh,
took a 2 or 3 minutes
okay.
gap between that.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, fine. So any questions up to here? Whatever I'm done. Ashraf, Brahma, Deepti, Hari, Jahnavi, Manasa, Shankar Reddy's fine. And no one is going to rush for office. I feel now. Anyone is rushing for
Uh,
office now?
Srinivas, hello.
Yes, yes, sir.
Srinivas, regarding data visualization, that is a customer give the request, either we give the as a Power BI developer recommended.
So,
Which format?
1 second. So you are referring that which visualization need to use, who is going to specify. That will be taken care by the Power BI developer only. And whatever the visualization that you created as part of your demo, if they not like it, at that time they will tell you. Or if they are technically experts, at that time they will tell you that along with your requirement, boss, you need to use this visualization, they will tell. But 99%, those people will not tell you, you need to use a slicer, you need to use a bar chart, you need to use a tree map. They will not tell you. They will tell the requirement. They will tell a requirement in such a way that, boss, I wanted to see like region wise, product wise, or like product category wise, or product name wise, do we have a sales or not? One requirement. On the other hand,
Yeah.
they will give some business requirements. They will tell the requirement, you need to prepare the code for it and you need to create a visualizations. Then like everything you are going to drive it. On the worst case, they are going to drive it. Or they are going to just give a feedback. Don't give this slicer here, or align the slicer, or increase the size of the slicer. They will tell that feedback, but they will not drive you that what visualization you need to use. If they are going to drive everything, they can create it. Right? So it is everything is in our hands.
That means they will give any template like format templates.
They will not give, sir, if they are, see, they will not give anything. They will tell the business requirements. That's it. Okay. So they are going to give the requirement, which means what KPIs you need to represent. They will tell you, and you need to analyze that KPI in order to get that KPIs. What code you need to write, or if the code is already or data is already there, what are the measures that you need to do? You need to take care. But they will not give any template. So they will not spend the time, right, to generate a template and to give the template to you. Everything, the visualization you need to take care. They will tell the business requirement. Business requirement is with respect to KPIs. They will tell you in this region or in this country, I require top 10 sales. Or they will tell the KPIs. You need to prepare that KPIs and you need to extract the KPIs and you need to visualize it with the visualization that you know. That's why we are explaining each and every visualization, and we are going to explore the other visualizations, so that whenever they tell some requirement, you will have a 20 or 30 or 40 visualizations in your mind, so that you will feel that I need to use that visualization. So visualization, they will not tell you what you need to use. Fine, Brahma. Fine.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Fine. So anyways, I'm stopping here and we'll continue from here in the next session. So